Hello everyone, and welcome to the Die Is Cast, our D&D web series. I am Russell S.A.N, and with me I have...
Fishman.
When last we left off, our two adventurers were venturing through this dark wood that, following the trail of this nameless river that they had been following since they left the plateau, in the direction of a town which they now know to be named Vern's Run.
Yep.
After some encounter with some familiar creatures and some unfamiliar creatures who happen to have a settlement in this woods. They came across. They managed to make it through those encounters, and they came upon a group of woodcutters and a thief apparently, and who were under the attack of a druid. The druid informed them of what these people came from Vern's Run, and that Bree had come through this forest before them.
Yeah.
They perhaps unwisely took the thief into their company briefly, after which point she made off with their coin purses containing some gold and silver, a healing potion from each of them, and the magic glaive up until that point, which they had been carrying, which could not fit inside their bags of holding.
Yes.
And that is where we are going to pick up at the morning of that camp.
No good deed goes unpunished. All right. During that long rest, I would like to make another potion.
Because you are out again.
To replace the one I got stolen.
Oh, sorry. You're not out again. You're just out of the ones you yourself made.
I almost got a 20. I rolled a 19.
Okay. Well,
So now we're down to 2 sets.
Yep, and you have a healing potion.
And I have a healing potion again. Until I run into another thief. The other thing I want to do is study the notes that you took from the tree guys. And I want to examine the mushrooms and get firmly set in my mind what they look like, because I definitely want to, as we progress through this, keep an eye out for them. Because 2 of them are poison mushrooms that I don't really care for, but it might come in handy at some point in time. But I definitely want the 2 that are going to be ingredients for, one is for invisibility, an invisibility potion, I should say, and the other is an ingredient for heroism.
Yes.
So,
we saw both of those potions demonstrated last time.
Yes. Really interested in the heroism potion. So I definitely want to keep an eye out for that one. That's the top on my list, and we'll see how the rest of them go.
All right.
So, that's all my prep stuff. I pretty much carved the wand as much as I can at this point. I have to wait till we get to a place where I can pick up the rest of the materials that I'm going to need.
And the most likely stop for that will be Vern's Run.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to find a whole lot in the middle of those woods.
Okay. Did you want to roll the check for researching those things now?
Yeah. Let's have a quick roll to see if I can actually find anything.
Okay. This would be a medicine check for you then.
Oh, that die is really nice to me. They rolled another 19 plus all my pluses, so...
Needless to say, that's enough. So
Where
you
are the
now
pluses?
know how to identify these mushrooms, and...
Cool.
Are you going to try and gather some at the moment, or...?
Are we off yet? Are we walking?
Not yet. We're still at the camp, so...
I don't know. I'll roll an investigation check, see if I can see anything. Or is this survival, or... I'll roll and we'll see what
This should be investigation. You're searching for something.
Well, not nearly as high. That'll be a 14.
You're actually still able to find 3 mushrooms, and I'm just going to... One second. I'm just going to roll something here to see which one they are.
Alrighty.
Alright. 2 of them are the mushroom that these notes denote are used in the heroism potion, and the third is for the invisibility one.
All right. Helps.
It does.
Every little bit helps. Of course, I'd have to come all the way back here at some point in time if I want to make them again.
All right. And we're also going to be marking off, as we've been doing so far, today's worth of food.
Yes. Well, we're, 8 days in now?
Yep, this is day 8. We have, according to my count, we have 13 days of food left.
Yep. Not exactly something to worry about at the moment, but
Yep.
I certainly don't want to eat anything from this place, to tell you the truth. It doesn't look exactly appetizing. Oh, there goes Alice.
Yep, she's going to go curl up over there, I think.
All right.
For those wondering, that is Alice, the basis for my familiar.
And I do not have an owl for the basis of mine, so...
Alright, so as we finish making camp and eating breakfast,
Yep.
you gather the mushrooms.
Yep.
Alright. So we are going to be heading on then.
Yeah.
Alright.
And throughout the day, I am going to periodically try and gather more of these, because this is the kind of place you just don't want to have to come back to too often.
You say that, but if we ever want to come back this way, this is the only path we know at this point.
True. Yeah. If we ever want to go back to the plateau, this is our route. Anyway, I'm going to keep an eye open, just in case. Might run across some more.
Alright. Alright, so we continue to travel through this dark forest, which we find ourselves. So, we're going to need to... you're going to need to roll a survival check, at advantage with my assistance, for navigating for this next little bit of it.
Well, I have survival. I have to keep looking for my wisdom score. I know it's a +1, but
Yes.
14.
14. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's high enough, especially considering we're still following the river that we've been... we have been following this entire trip so far.
At a safe distance.
Yes, because last time, as we found a few days ago, this river is inhabited by some sort of gelatinous creature similar to those harmless things that we found on the plateau, except these ones have a few tricks of their non-existent sleeves.
Well, they can fabricate a sort of pseudo-sleeve.
One moment, my familiar wants out now.
Alright, on we go.
Okay. So, doesn't take us... So, it takes us after about an hour's travel, we notice that the canopy overhead is starting to become less dense, which is allowing more light in.
Ah. So we're out of the darkest part of this, are we?
Well, it's getting lighter, so yes, it goes back to looking a bit more like this, which is where we started.
There we go. Still fairly foreboding, but not as bad as it was.
No. Right.
Did I find any more of those mushrooms?
That is going to be another investigation check.
Not 20.
Natural 20, oh boy. Alright. You're able to find 2 more, one of each. Seems a bit of a waste of a natural 20, but...
Good God! I did better with the lower number.
Sorry, the dice do not lie.
Yes. Okay. Probably what the best I'm going to do then.
Yep. Alright. We come across something unusual that we haven't encountered yet so far. Something which seems a little bit like a sign of, at some point, of civilization almost.
Really?
Yeah, it's a basically almost either a milestone or a border post. You're not quite sure which.
Okay.
It is
so
massively overgrown.
Okay. Clean off some of the debris and vines and
All
what
right,
do
so
I see?
you basically rub the moss off, tear some of the lichen off of the
Yep.
stone to get a look at what it says. It seems to be saying in the same direction that we are heading currently.
Yeah.
It gives a distance for Vern's run. It lists the distance still being 5 days travel though from us,
Oh,
at least according to this.
right.
And also lists a monastery. It says monastery of Guanyin in this direction.
Okay.
It says less than a day's travel.
All right. I'm gonna pull out the atlas.
Yep.
I know Vern's Run was not listed.
It was not
in
on
the
there.
atlas. So this milestone is
Less than 500 years old.
because they're relatively new. Is the monastery listed?
No, there's no listing of a monastery here.
All right, so these are all stuff that came up afterwards then.
Yes, these are all post-fall things.
All right. Okay. Anything else on this?
Nope, those are the only two markers on this stone.
Okay.
And it does look quite old. It is possible, though, that the path we are on at the moment was a road at some point in time.
That's the next question I have, because the woodcutters had a wagon. For some reason, we didn't take it with us. I'm not sure why. They were following kind of a track. Is that still discernible?
Roll a perception check.
22.
It is indeed still discernible. It is... You can see it basically off in the distance. You can just make out with that roll. We can try following that instead of this river if you want.
No. I'm not likely to lose track of the river. But those tracks could fade, get covered up, all kinds of funny stuff. I don't know. I'm going to stick with the river. Because my owl, when I did the flyover, I knew this river does exit. A river does exit the
forest.
The woods at some point. So, actually, that's what I want to... I'll roll another survival check. I want to see... Can I discern, because now that the canopy is a little lighter, are we still heading in the direction I was intending, which is sort of to the northeast?
Okay, roll.
Well, that'd be a 3. Plus 3, 6.
Well, we are still following the river, so you assume so. But you are suddenly far less confident.
Yes. Alright. I'm not going to worry about it for the moment, but I think my owl's going to have a little bit of a exercise her wings, and once this canopy lessens up enough that she can fly quite easily up.
Okay.
Alright. I'm going to go.
We continue onwards.
Heading towards this possible monastery?
That's what it says.
Yeah.
Alright. So still following the river, just and not using the 6 survival roll that you just rolled.
Hey, I got one nat 20 today. I'm good.
You do hear something in the distance.
And that's something...
It is something that we heard before.
Oh, we have?
Yes.
What?
It is the clap of thunder. You remember hearing that there was a storm in the distance.
Yeah.
past this forest in the direction of where we assume Vern's Run is at this point.
Yeah.
Which you remember hearing as we first entered the forest a few days ago.
Yep.
So it seems that there is another storm in the area at this point.
Natural?
If you want to roll a nature check to
Arcana
try
check?
and determine, or Arcana, I suppose.
For Arcana, because my nature sucks. 19 total.
The storm does seem natural. You aren't it doesn't. Nothing seems out of place about it.
Okay.
But then again, this is something that is a bit outside your area of expertise, manipulating the weather.
Is it raining where we are?
Where we are? No. Again, the storm seems to be in the distance.
Can I estimate how far away it is?
Not in the forest is the best you can get. Just from this.
And the forest is still a few days of travel before we're out of it.
Well, according to that sign post back there, we have at least 5 days journey to Vern's Run.
All right.
On foot.
Okay. I guess we'll just head on then.
If you wanted to, you could send your owl up at this point to...
How dense is the canopy?
It's getting lighter. Light is coming through this point that we no longer have to guide ourselves by light cantrips. So,
Okay,
an owl could find its way through.
I'm pretty sure we're tired of casting that. We've casted every hour for the last I don't know how long now.
It was the past 3 days?
Yeah. Do I see? Can I see the sky looking up?
Yes, through the...
All right. I'll send my owl up then and have a quick look.
Okay.
First thing I want to do is, I'll have her, I'm going to stop. I'll see through her eyes. I'm going to have her just sort of spiral circle. I want to see behind us the plateau, for starters. And then I want her to go high enough that I can hopefully see that storm and then possibly spot this monastery that I didn't see before.
Okay. So your owl will fly up, do a circle. Perception check at advantage, please.
21.
21. Okay. Well, the first thing your owl does notice is the plateau, because she knows exactly where to look for that.
Yep.
And we can still see it in the distance, though it is now very much in the distance. It's almost on the horizon almost at this point for him.
Okay. Can I estimate from where we are versus where that is? Are we heading in the right direction?
Yes, we are heading in the right direction. We've not gotten lost to that degree.
So this river is the river that exits the woods. Okay.
Yes. So the next thing you do notice is the storm. There is indeed a storm in the distance. This one actually looks much more severe than the one that we witnessed on our way in.
Okay.
There's a torrential downpour and much more frequent thunderclaps and bolts of lightning. So it's a proper storm, this one, as opposed to the last one, which was a bit more mild.
Can I estimate how far in the distance it is?
Are you asking kilometers, miles, or how many days away it is for us?
No. Oh, if it's days in travel, I'll go with days in travel.
Okay. Well, with that roll, your owl can see... around the distance that the owl is flying, you can see the ravine, which we know is coming up on our way to this village. And the storm seems to be past that, so it is outside the forest.
Okay. So, definitely nothing we're going to run into anytime soon.
Nothing we're going to run into today, no.
Okay. Alright, that's fine.
With
I'll let her pop back out.
Your owl also rolled high enough to notice one other thing.
Oh, the monastery. Can you see that?
You don't see a monastery, no.
No.
But it does look like your owl can just make out basically almost like a cart or wagon being pulled by, it looks like by someone, you think, in the direction heading towards this forest.
Someone's heading towards us.
It's heading in the direction of the woods.
Okay.
It's a
Is my
cart
owl
it's some sort of cart, basically, being pulled by a person.
Okay, is my owl within 120 feet of me?
Yes, basically just up.
Right. I'll give her an instruction then to fly at a reasonable height towards the cart, and I'm going to continue watching through her eyes.
It's very far in the distance. You can just see it, so it might take her a little while to fly there.
Very far in the distance, as in...
Outside the forest. They're heading towards...
Oh! And the forest is definitely, what, a day's travel at least?
Or more.
Or more? Oh, all right, never mind. She's got good eyesight.
You roll high.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
just... You can just faintly make that out in the distance.
All right. Well, we don't travel very fast, especially through those woods, so... But yeah, that'd be a long distance off. All right, let's just head on.
All right, so we continue on. I'm going to ask for one more survival check with advantage.
21.
21. Rolling quite well for the moment.
Yeah, this is going to come back and bite me, I know.
All right. So we make good, we make a good headway. You think as we are traveling through this, we don't get lost. We don't lose sight of the river. We don't stumble into anything. We manage to, you think, make it to basically after 8 hours after we've set it out.
Yeah.
We're basically coming to a first real stop with this.
All right. So a day's travel in this forest, so it's getting a little lighter.
Yeah.
We're going to make camp, I guess.
Yes, we basically have traveled as far as we think we can go at the...
There's no point in pushing it.
We have not seen the monastery yet, but it did say it was a full day's travel. So.
Okay, set up camp.
All right.
14.
All right, we are able to find a place to make a camp. It's easier this time because it's not as... The forest is not as dense, it's not as dark.
Mm-hmm.
So we find a small spot to make a fire. I set up my alarm spell around our campsite.
All right, the other thing I want to do is I want to have a quick... While I'm setting up camp, is I want to also look to see if there are... See, now we're in a lighter section of the woods. I'll check for the mushrooms, but I also want to check for any kind of herbs and whatnot I use for making my healing potions as well.
All right.
22. This is really going to bite me at some point.
Yeah, this is just the first day of travel through here.
I know.
What is tomorrow going to bring?
I know, it'll be all the ones and twos.
All right. Well, you do not seem to find any of those mushrooms. It seems they don't grow in the lighter sections of the forest.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
But you do find 5 sets of the herbs that you use.
Woohoo!
So that's good.
I will, during my section of the watch, put together another healing potion just to have a spare.
Okay. So you're going to take the first watch then?
I'll take the first watch, yeah.
So you can either choose to roll that medicine check for the potion now first, or you can roll your perception check for the watch first, whichever you would prefer.
I'll make the potion first. I think that's my first fail.
Really? What'd you roll?
I rolled a 3.
Plus
6 is 9.
For the first time in your entire life, basically, as far as you are, you fail to make a healing potion.
I know.
And you still waste the herbs, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the turn.
Alright, perception for my watch.
With advantage from your familiar self.
Yep. We're back to good. 22.
Yep. It's not a high DC for a basic healing potion, but it's not 5.
But I failed it.
Alright, so your watch is uneventful, but you go to bed a little frustrated with that as you wake me up.
Yes, that was very annoying. I'm never allowed to accumulate these things. Oh well.
Alright, well, just because... So, on my watch, I'm going to use this just because I feel like it's such a waste not to. I rolled a natural 20 for one of my portents for this first day. So I'm going to use that for my watch. Because it seems like such a waste not to use it.
Yeah, so it's going to go away in the morning.
Yep. It's going to go away basically as we wake up.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so the night is rather uneventful. With our both our quite high checks for our watch. And we come to for the next day of our travel. And so
mark off yet another day for the food.
Down to 12 now. Alright, more points. Nowhere near as good. It is a natural 20, but they're fine.
I think your familiar wants in my door now.
Ah. Yeah, she does not like it when the doors are closed.
No. Alright.
Okay. So, assuming that border post was accurate, we're fairly certain we haven't been mislaid at this point from our traveling. We should come upon that monastery at some point today.
Oh, alrighty.
Just based on...
Is the monastery of... What was it called again?
Guanyin, which, if you want to make a religion check, you can if you want.
Sure. I don't have religion.
No, but it is an intelligence skill, so...
17.
17. Guanyin is a minor goddess of mercy, effectively, so...
So not like blood sacrifices and stuff, but just sort of one of the nice warm and fuzzy ones.
No, I don't think she's ever been depicted with equated with blood sacrifice before.
Alright. You never know with these places. Out in the middle of the woods, you know. Who knows what they get up to.
So if it still exists, it sounds like a place we might be able to take shelter, possibly.
Possibly. At least in the sense that, you know, they're not going to be, you know, well, sacrificing us to their god.
It'd be hard to equate that with mercy, though. To be fair, our main history with religion at this point was with the cult of Mithras, who is technically a sun deity associated with.
Yeah. And he was warm and fuzzy.
No.
All right. Let's head on.
Yes, so we finish our breakfast, we pack up, and we head on following the river.
Yeah.
I'm going to need another survival check from you.
Hey.
With my assistance.
Well, besides that one bad roll, I'm back to normal. 21.
Alright. I'm just gonna... Okay. So, we are so for the next 3 hours... Oh, you have something to say?
There's lots of wildlife now, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Speaking of which...
Really wants to go and look out the window. I want to keep my eyes open for game birds. I'm getting tired of these travel rations. Let me know if I see like a partridge or something.
Alright, you can roll a perception check then.
That would be 20.
Alright.
Bird play.
Well, that does beat the birds roll. There is indeed a pheasant, effectively. You're flying over.
Firebolt!
Alright, so we're going to be we are starting to hunt game this early. Alright. Make an attack roll.
Well,
you know where it is.
So much trail rations I feel like eating. Hooah! 17! I don't think his armor class is 17.
Its armor class is 12, so you're fine. Roll damage.
9. Oh, crap. I'm not trying to obliterate it. It might be pretty quick now.
Well, that's over 4 times its hit points.
Uh,
So, you hurl a quite potent firebolt, you think, as you launch it from your wand. It collides spectacularly with this pheasant. It bursts into flames and plummets to the ground about 20 feet from us.
I go and I pat him out.
There was one thing, 1 second. I'm going to roll something. The one good news in this is it lands in the river.
No! Alright, hold on a sec. What's the range up? Mage Hand's 30 feet,
30
right?
feet. It's 20 feet from us currently.
I'm cast Mage Hand and see if I can pluck it out of the river before our friends decide to have a snack.
Sure, roll a dexterity check. I love how you decided to use Mage Hand, not Featherfall.
Featherfall, the bird that's dead? Is there... Do I get a dex bonus on this? I rolled a 9.
You rolled a 9. Oh. So that's not going to catch it out of midair. It's going to hit the water.
Yeah, I kind of figured it would anyway.
You do manage to retrieve it, though, without any difficulty. Beyond that.
Now, there's another problem.
What?
Well, it's been in that water.
It's just water.
True, but we've never drank anything from this water. We don't know how good it is.
I have prestidigitation. I can clean it and dry it for you.
True. Anyway.
So you now have a charred and water-sodden pheasant.
Alright, I'm gonna...
It's already and there's suddenly a massive... And there's a massive dearth of birds in the area around us suddenly.
I'll try to leave. I am going to, as we walk along, have to press the digitation to clean it up.
Cast prestidigitation twice. Once to clean it, once to dry it.
And I'll pluck some feathers, and I'm going to get a branch of some kind. I'm going to tie the legs together and just hang it.
Alright, so you now have a dead, dry, charred pheasant tied to a stick over your shoulder as we walk along.
Or supper, or whatever. Hey.
That was funny. You can have inspiration for that, by the way.
If you don't laugh at me too much, you can have some of it. Woohoo! Inspiration.
I still wanted the Mage Hand to roll high enough to catch it out of the air before it fell in the water.
That's okay.
It was a possibility. It was like, it's either going to land in the river or it's going to land in the forest while on fire.
Yeah, but it's not going to set the forest on fire.
No, but it might burn before we get to it.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. So,
on we go.
After that, we spend the next 3 hours of this trip traveling through the forest.
Yep.
The canopy continues to get lighter as we go through, and the trees start to grow a bit further apart. And after about the 3 hour mark, we come upon what looks like a clearing, and we do see a building that resembles a monastery.
Okay.
And we do see one other sight. That's the wrong way. I'm positive that's the wrong way, yeah. Not that. That.
Oh, this is what we see?
It soon becomes clear that the ground of this monastery is littered with a great many corpses. Whenever you've found a...
Alright, that's the best I can do.
There you go. And the monastery is there. There's blood everywhere.
Blood everywhere.
Yeah, it's clear that some sort of battle took place here. And we do see one survivor.
Somebody walking around?
Yes. Are we going to approach stealthily, or...?
I'm going to stay in the trees. That's what I'm going to do. Give me a description of this lone survivor.
Alright. So, are we attempting to be stealthy?
Oh, good God, yes.
Alright, stealth checks, please.
I'm proficient. Oh, this is not. This is a dex check, not a dex save.
This is stealth. Yeah, so you are proficient
18.
in stealth, I believe.
Oh, am I? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you took you're variant human. You took
That's right,
very
yeah.
interesting stealth.
Dirty 20.
Well, I rolled a natural 1.
Oh, good God.
So I trip and fall, but you have a 20.
That kind of mellows out to a 10, I guess, which is below almost everybody's passive perception.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere to be found, whereas you...
I'm lying on the ground.
Probably in a pool of blood.
Oh, we're still in the tree line.
Oh, right.
Right. So yes, this individual does notice this. You do, on the other hand, get a good look at him.
Alright. Where is he, by the way?
What?
Where is he?
Kind of just standing in the middle of this.
Kind of standing like... Alright, hold on a second. Kind of standing down here in the middle of this, or up here in the middle of this?
No, he's on the ground.
He's here.
Yeah. He's looking at the... So you get to... So, the only survivor is a half-orc in his mid-30s by the looks of it.
Yeah.
His head is shaved bald, and he has no beard.
Yeah.
And he is wearing sort of brown robes, which you'd associate with acolytes or monks or someone who would possibly be involved in this monastery.
He carrying a bloody sword with him?
He has a mace, which is indeed blood-sodden, as are parts of his robe. And he is...
Just by looking at him, did he do this? You look like he's shell-shocked or just getting over a rage. Insight check on
You're
this.
insight checking him, okay.
Wisdom, right?
Yes.
18.
18. Alright, he is staring around in disbelief, and he definitely heard something in our direction. He does not look... He looks like he was involved in this fight, though you do notice that he is alive, obviously.
Okay.
You don't see one person doing all this, though.
Guess what?
Alice wants out again?
I'll let her back in next time.
No, it is unfortunate. She doesn't. She does not like the doors being closed, but yeah.
So
you see it a bit hard for any one person to cause all of this.
Yeah.
And he does look a little
2,
shocked.
4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21 bodies?
Okay. The body count is not necessarily accurate to the graphic. It was just this is just what I was going for.
Alright. You wanted the shock factor, huh? Alright. Is he coming towards us? Or you, I guess?
He is looking in our direction, and you see he's raised the mace, and he is...
my direction.
Our direction. We are both in the same direction.
My direction. I rolled a 20.
Anyway, it was a group check. Okay. And he's gripping what looks to be a holy symbol around his neck, and he is coming forward cautiously.
Okay.
And that is where we are at the moment.
I will give up my 20 stealth check and say to him, hold your ground, please. This seems to be something that needs some explanation. Do you understand me, for starters?
He does react to the voices and says, "Who's there?" He says. He's not calmed by anything you just said, basically. But he is standing his ground, so he's not coming towards us anymore.
Alright, that's a start.
But so I get up to my feet. Are we going to walk over there?
No.
No?
Until I have a little bit more of an understanding of what happened here.
All right.
I'm going to say we're travelers, and this is a scene of carnage. Did you do this?
I'm just gonna see how he. I'm just hang on. Do I want you to roll for this, or should I just roll what his reaction is going to be to that?
Oh, no, I got to roll out a terrible charisma.
Oh, good.
8. Oh, so 9 minus 1.
He says, "Surely you do not believe that I could do this all on my own." He says he's a little taken aback by this, but he does know how this look. He knows how this looks, but you can see he's coming back out of his stupor, basically.
All right.
You do. He does also know the fact that he has A, blood on his robes, and B, is holding a thoroughly bloody mace.
Yes.
You do, at this point, if you want, can try to get a better look at some of the corpses, if you want.
Well, I don't really want to approach him at all, really. But I do want to have a look, at least, at the bodies nearby. And I want to decide, obviously, did they die in combat? That's the first thing I want to discern.
All right.
Like, were they like running away and like all the wounds are on their back, or were they actually look like they were fighting, and were they fighting each other? I mean, those sorts of things.
Okay. So just gonna point things out now. If we stay in the tree line, our view is slightly obstructed of some of these corpses because they are just lying on the ground. Our view of him is not, but he's upright and over 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
So basically, it's going to be perception to examine this, but due to the obscurity of our view and just the fact of the distance involved, it's going to be disadvantage, which will cancel out with advantage. So it'll be a straight roll.
All right. 5.
5. There are bodies on the ground and there's blood everywhere.
Yeah, plus a bit. But yeah, 5 is what I rolled.
You're not going to be able to get too good of a look. Yeah, contrary to how many bodies there are, which I just placed for the fact, there's probably about a dozen corpses.
So about half what we see here.
That's about it.
All right. One person can kill that many. He was in some sort of blood rage. All right. We're going to have to progress here.
We're going to... something has to happen.
And he's... All right. I think we should approach him, but not together. We approach him, we'll be far enough apart that technically we might be flanking him, really, but I don't want to get too close, probably with about...
I'm just going to point out flanking is opposite ends.
Yeah, we won't be flanking them because we won't be on either side of them, but we're going to approach.
Well, because this is possibly going to look a little hostile towards this individual as we approach, how far apart are we going to be from one another?
About 20 feet.
Okay.
So he's in the middle, so we're about 10 feet-ish. Well, 15 feet-ish from him.
And how close are we getting to him?
With about 15 feet. I don't want to be within easy. I want to have a little bit of warning if he decides to go ballistic on us.
So that is going to be on the path there, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's going to be on one side of the path, and we'll be on the opposite side.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So.
And then he just want to...
So we step out, both of us.
We're not hostile because we have no visible weapons except
our stabs.
Sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, walking sticks, whatever. It doesn't look that bad.
No. No, it looks much better than the sight that we basically walk out to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. At this point, we are going to be approaching, and we get a... And basically, now that we're no longer in the distance, we get a better look at the bodies.
Alright. I'm going to try and... Well, I guess I can't really investigate the bodies yet, because I'm going to be keeping my mind and eyes on him. But I do want to, as we pass by a body, I want to, again, try and perceive that list of stuff that I already mentioned to you.
Okay. You can roll another perception check. But this is
21.
21. Alright. Some of these corpses are clearly dressed in the same style of robes that he is. They look like monks or priests of some sort. They look like something who would not be unexpected in this monastery.
Right.
They do have... They're dead. They do, but they look like they were fighting. They do have weapons on them. Some of them have cudgels or maces, again. But a few have quarterstaves. But it looks like a fight definitely broke out. There are also at least a good number of them which are clearly not dressed in the same habits, basically, I guess would be the right word, or robes.
Yep. So the ones that don't look like they belong, are they like brigands? Or are they, I don't know, some sort of militia style or mercenaries? What do they look like?
Alright, well, with that roll, you can determine they are basically... the clothing they're wearing is... It's odd to describe. It basically looks almost like just cloth, almost. It doesn't...
They're wearing clothes.
They're wearing... Yeah, they're basically wearing... the term... It takes you a while to think about it, but the word you think comes to mind is probably shroud is the most accurate word.
As in burial?
As in... That's how it sounds like, and as you look a closer look at some of these, you do notice that some of these bodies are in an advanced state of decay, and the blood that's pooled around them looks like it's coagulated.
Alright. I'm going to motion to you to definitely keep an eye on him for a second. I want to do a medicine check on one of these bodies.
Okay.
Sorry, the rotting ones.
Yes.
I want to see, like...
Because this does look very fresh, this scene.
So I do have medicine.
Yeah.
So that would be a 20. 30-20.
Second one in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not in a row, but yes.
Yeah, that's what with advantage.
This is an unusual state of decay and rigor mortis based on what looks like was a fight that happened very recently. This is some form of undead. We've encountered enough of them to look for the signs, and this looks almost the fact that there are no obvious weapons, but there's blood on the hands and the mouth, and basically like this looks like these are zombies, you think, or were zombies until very recently.
Okay.
At least a few of them.
They were going for the old brains thing and trying to eat people.
Oh, they definitely killed these people, and they had no other weapons besides their hands and teeth to do so with.
Alright. I guess it's time to have a look at this guy a little bit more closely now.
Yeah.
So...
He seems to be calming down a little bit now, as it's just obvious there isn't a fight going to happen, and one's body can only run on adrenaline so long before you have to take a breath.
Alright.
Some of them have clearly been killed with maces, but basically bludgeoning weapons have been used here, and there are some which look like some of these wounds have been caused by magic. You think?
So, after having this exam, like having a look at them and whatnot, and getting a better idea, I'm going to address the gentleman.
Yes.
What started all this? Why is there all this in the middle of the forest? And, I mean, did you guys have a ritual that went wrong? Like, usually a bunch of undead just don't show up. Did one of your members go a little squirrely and start summoning undead? Raising the dead?
He looks around and says, I'm not entirely sure what happened. I went out this morning and came back to this.
Okay, hold on a sec. He went out this morning, came back, and saw this field of carnage? Is that what he said?
That is what he's saying, yes, at the moment.
So if you came back, as we did, to see this, why is your clothes and your mace all covered in blood?
Says he points to a few of the ones that were near our bodies, which are clearly undead. He says there were at least a few. There were a few still. It says moving at the time when I arrived. It says,
All right. The blood that's on the dead acolytes or whatever,
yes.
it looks really relatively fresh, right?
Yes.
Like what I would expect from a dead body.
Yes.
And the blood, or ichor, or whatever, from the zombies really looks different.
It looks like it's coagulating. Yes. Looks
I'm
like
looking
blood from a
at
corpse.
him. I'm going to examine him from a medical perspective. What kind of blood does this guy have all over him?
A question you probably weren't expecting to have to ask this morning.
Yeah, I know. It's like weird. I just keep on rolling really well. 21.
At some point, your fortune is going to reverse.
I know. The second I have to roll initiative or something.
As soon as we get into combat.
Yeah.
Looking over, it looks like that his story does seem to check out. The blood is doesn't look as fresh as that came from what basically would be the acolytes. You think he wasn't probably fighting zombies? There's quite the blood does kind of. It can. I'm not sure if congealed is the right word on the mace, but it does look like it looks like he's probably telling the truth.
So with a 21, I think it's possible he's telling the truth. But he could have been beating on the other guys as well. I don't know. I can't tell with that.
Well, you could examine the wounds at this point. You don't see any mace injuries on any of the acolytes.
Alright. So,
On the other hand, it's
most likely telling the truth.
he's most likely telling the truth. It can be difficult to tell the difference between I mean, a zombie with its arms and just flailing around and trying to claw at people or bash them, basically, would technically do bludgeoning damage, just like a mace would, but you can tell some of the finer differences.
And true, and if he's fighting a zombie that has already killed somebody else,
Yeah, some of its blood might.
there was some of that blood on as well.
Yeah. But that's
All right.
basically all you can gather from this.
I say to him, You're it. You're what's left. All of your fellow...
He says, he just looks back at the building, because I've not gone inside to check yet.
Oh.
He says, I arrived only moments before you did.
Alright.
You do also notice that there is a blood trail coming, leading up or possibly out from each of the doors you see there.
Yes. There's blood everywhere. Are any of these doors I see here, like this one, that one, and the other one, open?
Yes, they are all open, actually, in fact.
Okay. I'm going to have my owl fly and perch here and look in.
Was your owl summoned, or are you going to... your owl was summoned at this point, right?
Oh yeah, I just popped out of existence for, it's just easier than having her to fly back. Right?
Okay. So you're
But
gonna
anyway, if not, I'll just have her pop back in anyway.
So you have her fly over,
Yeah.
land on the statue.
And look in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And see what there is in there.
Alright, so you're going to roll perception check.
The parade of good numbers continues. 22 for perception.
Alright. Well, that roll, you get a fairly good view of what looks like to be the entry hall to this monastery.
Yeah.
Which is a large stone-floored chamber with a high ceiling.
Yeah.
In the center of it, there is a fountain which dominates this room. And
Okay.
where once crystal clear water once flowed, you can now see that the water has a murky sheen to it as there is blood and indeed corpses lying in it.
More bodies.
Yeah. There is an open air layout to this hall, which allows the wind to blow through. And with that roll, your owl can literally smell. The only thing that I can smell in there is overwhelming is blood and the scent of death. There are also some doors your owl can see from her vantage point leading to other rooms, which are closed. And a pair of staircases heading up. That's all your owl can see from her vantage point. There is nothing moving in there, as far as you can tell at the moment.
Alright. Say to the acolyte.
Yes.
First off, do you have a name?
He says, "My name is Brother Dorn," he says.
Dorn.
Yes.
Alright, Dorn. I'd like to say it's good to meet you, but we'll see. So, I'm Jonas. This is...
Aquans, I say.
And I have bad news. Apparently there's more bodies on the inside.
He's not entirely sure what he was expecting. He says, "I fear that the monastery may be overrun." He says,
Okay, I have one more uncomfortable question to ask you. The people you see here are obviously people from your monastery. How many people were there relative to the bodies that we see here? I mean, how many more? Is there a possibility for
he
survivors?
says, "There is." He says, "About a dozen monks lived here, including myself." So as we look around at the actual bodies, there's a dozen here, but they are not all monks.
Yes.
So there are basically almost half and half monks and undead.
And how many, can I tell with that roll, how many dead bodies are in there that were humans, not zombies?
From the distance your owl was looking in at? No, unfortunately not.
Alright,
So there's
Dorn.
probably about, at least, including him, 5 members of the monastery unaccounted for.
Okay.
Which is less than is here.
Alright. Alright, Dorn. I guess there's nothing to it but to go inside and have a look. And I motion him to lead the way. This is your place.
I'm going to ask you to roll another persuasion check, but this time you can have advantage because I'll be assisting you, and this is probably something he has to be.
He has to do it.
Yeah.
If he wants to run off, and we'll do it on our own.
Yeah.
Persuasion. We got 13 minus 1? Oh.
Yes, it says. All right, it says he steadies himself and takes his hand away from his holy symbol and just keeps his mace handy, but he's going to be leading us up the staircase. There.
I just say to him before we go in, if you're not up to this, just stay out here. Because if you're that distraught, you may be more in the way than useful. And I'm not being pleasant about it. I'm just telling him, like,
You're just stating facts.
if you're not going to be of any help, just stay out here.
He continues his way up the staircase. That's his answer.
All right.
Do we follow?
Okay.
Okay. So we make our way through the sea of blood and corpses.
Yes. Gonna keep an eye on him.
Okay. So we follow Dorn into the entry hall. So we see the sight that your owl that you conveyed through for her senses.
Yep.
So the fountain does indeed have a couple of corpses in it.
Acolyte type corpses?
One apiece. One monk, one zombie, you think? And you would not want to drink this water.
Sorry, something I just had to look at.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. And the wind does indeed blow through this room as we enter it, which is
Okay.
which was probably comforting, intended to be comforting at one point, but it is not now.
Well, at least keeping the smell down.
Okay.
Alright, so we're in a room.
Yes.
Got a fan, got some dead bodies, and some zombie bodies.
Yes.
And you said a staircase heading up?
There are a pair of staircases heading up, and there are 4 other doors in this room, apart from the one that
And
we
they're
were by.
closed.
And they are closed, yes.
Well, I suggest to Dorn that we check out these closed doors before. I mean, where do they? First off, where do they lead?
Okay.
And second,
Yeah, he points to the ones on the. There's a pair of doors on the west wall. He says, that leads to the kitchen and pantry.
yeah.
There's another one on the east wall. He points to. That leads to the cloister.
All right.
And he points to the a set of double doors on the north wall. He says, that's the abbess's office. And he says the stairs lead up to the dormitories.
I suspect probably the best way to start though would be to check the abbot's office.
Abbess, he was saying.
Not abbot, but abbess.
Abbess as in female, yes.
Oh, all right.
It's basically the same position. It's just a woman.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yes, it is indeed it is indeed abbess.
All right. I motion for him to open the door and let's go have a look. Hopefully she's alive.
He says, yes, this is the office of Abbess Pixrine, he says.
Pixaring?
Pixrine.
Pixaring.
Pyxrin.
Alright.
If you want, you roll an intelligence check to determine what language that's in.
I can. You're making me waste these, I know it. Natural 20.
Natural 20. The name is in Draconic, and you think it might be the name of a Dragonborn.
Ah, okay. Cool.
So he opens the doors, which actually are partially ajar, you realize, as we approach.
Yep.
Documents have been scattered over the desk and the floor. This room does look like there was a fight here.
Okay.
And there's also a hole that's been smashed through one of the walls.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like you can see a staircase leading down past that.
Alright. Zombie footprints heading up?
You could make a survival check if you want to look for footprints in all this mess.
Footprints! Actually not bad. 17.
Well, let's just say that there's enough blood in some of these places to leave some clear footprints on some things. There are very ungraceful sets of footprints coming up, which you would associate with staggering undead.
Alright.
And there's also a clear set of footprints heading down.
As in possibly the abbess heading down?
Someone.
Someone, not someone.
Only a single set of footprints as far as you can tell with that roll.
Alright. Looks like your boss went down.
It says yes, this wall, this wall, he says, caved in for all intents and purposes yesterday. He says, I do remember the abbess saying that she wanted someone to search down there. He says, I did not know if anyone had at this point yet.
Well, looks like they probably should have. Alright. I got two choices here. We can just go straight down into this, or we can finish searching this level to see if there are any more bodies. I think we should probably just continue our search on this level just to see.
Well, if you needed any more of an indication, you hear movement outside. You hear, sounds like possibly footsteps.
Alright.
Not very graceful footsteps.
Hey! Dorn!
Because we've, needless to say, we've not been quiet.
True, I haven't been trying to be stealthy.
No.
Alright, Dorn. Looks like we might have undead still here. It sounds like it anyway.
So we're going to go back out into the entry hall?
I'm going to look first.
Okay. As you hear, all it says you're going to look and listen?
Yes.
Alright. Well, if we were not being stealthy, there's no way mindless undead are. So you don't have to roll because this is below your passive perception.
Alright.
So you do hear the stumbling, shuffling footsteps coming from the east door, which he said led to the cloister.
Right.
And you see the doors move open as a pair of hands just push them open, which is followed by the shambling gait of a zombie, and then another one follows up behind it.
The second I see that zombie,
Yep.
the first one, I'll firebolt in the head.
Okay. Why the head? This is not Resident Evil.
You hit zombies in the head. That's the way it works.
You not with firebolts. All right. Roll your attack.
24.
Yeah, that hits. What are the armor class of these things? I remember written down here somewhere. 1 second.
Oh, that's a good firebolt.
You tripled its armor class.
9 points of damage right to the noggin.
So, okay. So, the firebolt basically is just a perfect trajectory. It's just coming out and then smashes right into its head. Is that the second 9 you rolled on a firebolt this session? You rolled it for one for the pheasant, too, I think.
Yeah, the pheasant, yeah.
So, you see a very familiar sight. Except now it's not a pheasant.
I'm not picking it up.
Now it's a burning corpse. It was a palpable hit. But needless to say, they are aware of us and we are rolling initiative.
Yeah, I don't think 9 points is going to kill a zombie. Alright, initiative! Yeah, I knew it!
Oh dear, what do you have?
6!
Alright, I have a 9. Zombies are not exactly known for their great dexterity and grace, though. Alright. Yeah, what did I tell you? Alright, 1 second. Dorn. He has a 7.
Wow, we were really sucking here.
Oh, hang on a minute. I haven't taken into account the zombies yet, and they rolled really low. Okay. Alright, what did the zombies roll? So, the die roll for them was a 2. They have a total of 0.
Oh, they're going last.
Yes. And there are indeed 2 of them.
Wow. You are at the top of the initiative
I am,
order
with a 9. The first I saw, like, oh, well, this is going to not go well. Alright. I'm just going to note down the hit points, and one of them took Firebolt.
Yep.
Alright, so I'm somehow at the top of the initiative order. Here.
Yeah.
Alright. Apparently we somehow managed to take these things by surprise.
These things happen.
Alright. Well, we're going to take a step out into the hall a little bit because I have to get a bit closer to these things, unfortunately, than you do. And I'm going to try...
How far away are they from us?
It's a large hall, so I have to get a bit closer to move within 60 feet to hit them with frostbite.
Ah, so it's a big one.
Yeah.
Alright.
And I'm going to hit the same one with frostbite. Oh, okay, that's a 9. They rolled... They have a high constitution, but not that high.
Yeah, +5. Oh, amazing.
I, however, only roll 1 point of cold damage.
Well, that's still 10 now, so...
And still disadvantage on the next attack roll, but if they may, that might take them a little while to make it here. They're not moving as quickly. Alright. Dorn is up now.
Yes.
Alright. Well, he's looking at this and says, very well. He says, he says, Guanyin, forgive me. He raises his hand to his holy symbol and brings his other hand up, and he's going to cast Sacred Flame at them. So that's a dexterity save.
You have to move up for that?
Yes, he does. Same range as frostbite.
Alright.
So basically, you're in the doorway at this point still.
Yep.
I went to your right, and he went to your left, so that we're both 60 feet from these things now.
Okay.
Dexterity saving throw. I think he's come to the conclusion that we should try hitting the same one. 15! Minus 2 is 13. What's your spell save DC, Dorn? Well, after being hit twice, the zombie actually almost just moves its head barely, and the flash of sacred fire hits the wall instead of it. 13 was above his DC, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So.
Alright.
Of course, this is some evidence to him actually being some sort of cleric or acolyte, because he does indeed have divine magic.
Yes, he does. Well, divine cantrips anyway.
So if that was a test you were hoping for, it seems to have panned out. It's your turn, by the way.
Yes. How far am I away from the zombies?
You are about 70 feet from them in the doorway.
Alright. Is there a clear line, like once I step into the room, is there a clear line that I can move like an angle so that I stay quite far away from these things?
Yes, I'm currently using that as well. It's the fountain.
Like you're 60 feet away. I don't want to be that close.
Yeah.
So
But I've just positioned myself so the fountain is between me and them, basically.
Alright, so I'm going to move so that I'm maintaining as much... I mean, I have a lot of range on this.
Yes.
So I'm going to move so that they are as far away from me as possible. And...
So you're going to move a full movement of 30 feet?
Yep.
Are you going to try and do what I did and be on the opposite side of the fountain?
Yeah, I want to keep as much distance between me and them as possible.
I'm just going to tell you this now. If you do that, that will put you near some of the doors on the west wall.
What about the other way?
That's the way they're in. That's them.
Oh, alright.
They're north. We were came into the north door, right?
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. And is this a firebolt? I guess.
Firebolt! 18 to hit.
That hits. They're not hard to hit.
No, they're not hard to hit. The third 9 in a row.
Okay, is it the same target?
Same target.
Alright, you hit this one in the torso this time, and it lighted up considerably with the flames. But it keeps moving. Undead are hardy.
Yeah. They're hardy.
Yeah, but this one is... Sorry?
They're tough.
They're tough, yes. It's taken a beating already from our attacks, but it keeps coming.
From my attacks.
I hit it. Just for that, needless to say, the zombie whose turns it is now are going to take its movement, which I'm pretty sure is not 30 feet.
20, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it is 20 feet. towards you, and it's going to take the nearest, because zombies are completely mindless, they take the most direct route.
Over the fountain?
Into the fountain. It takes 20 feet, goes into the fountain, and starts moving through it. It's going to use its action to dash as much as a zombie can.
At least tell me it's rough terrain for them and they have to roll a dex. I like to see them splashing and falling around in the water.
I hate to tell you this, but it succeeded.
Alright.
So its movement is not slowed. The water is not high enough to make this difficult terrain for it to reduce its movement, so it does get 40 feet towards you.
Okay.
So it's at the edge of the fountain.
Alright.
The second one, has not taken no damage so far. And as far as it's concerned, there are 3 living things in this room. So come see what it goes for. So, 1, 2 was you, 3, 4 was me, 5, 6 was Dorn. It's got 2. So both of them are heading towards you.
Alright.
Alright, let's see if this one. This one does slip and fall. So it only makes it halfway through the fountain.
Alright.
But it does get back up and keep walking. Or stumbling towards you. Alright. Top of the round again.
Yep.
Well, I see no reason to start wasting spells yet. Oh, natural 20. It shrugs off the frostbite and with no difficulty at all.
You moving at all?
No, I'm fine where I am at the moment. They're heading towards you.
Okay.
Dorn's turn. He does move closer. He's going to move up to the edge of the fountain and hit the same one with a sacred flame. Natural 20 and then a 19. They both, this one zombie is just resisting and evading our cantrips at the moment.
Wow.
Okay, so it's up to you. This thing will be able to get to you next turn, if you do not move, by the way.
I'm moving. How far away is it from you now?
Exactly 20 feet.
So if I move 30 feet in the other direction, how far away will it be at that point then?
About 35 feet.
So
Because it's not a straight line, obviously.
It'll be able to dash to me then.
Yes. It has taken some damage.
Yes.
Not this round, though.
Not yet. Alright. I am going to move my full move rate
Okay.
as far as I can get from him. And then I'm going to firebolt him.
Okay.
I roll a 1.
You roll a 1?
I roll a 1 on my firebolt.
Okay. Please make another attack roll for me.
The second one.
Second one. The firebolt goes astray. You see it leave your wand. It doesn't hit any of us, thankfully. But you see it impact somewhere in the Abbess's office. You're not sure where. And you
It's okay.
and you think you hear something flammable burning.
Uh-oh. That's just religious nonsense. Who cares?
Anyway, so is that all you have for this turn?
Yeah, I think that's enough damage.
Well, that was not an auspicious round for the 3 of us.
No. Pair of 1s. That doesn't happen very often.
No. I mean, I suppose I should be thankful. If you rolled higher, you probably would have ended up hitting one of us.
Yeah. I'll just hit myself.
Alright.
Suppose Dorn wouldn't be too happy to firebolt him in the back of the head.
It wouldn't be the back of his head, it would be his side, basically.
Yeah.
We're back towards the way we came in. Alright, well, one zombie is definitely still just going right towards you.
Yeah.
The other one, now, is basically in between all 3 of us, basically in the center almost.
Yep.
So, let's see where I can go. Oh, well, it saw that Dorn came closer. And it turns and heads towards him. He is just outside 20 feet, so it does have to dash to get into melee with him, but it does so.
Alright.
Alright.
What about the one that's coming towards me?
Alright. It is going to try and see if it can exit the fountain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Crap.
Nope, this is the this zombie is surprisingly dexterous. Or just lucky.
Okay. Out of the fountain.
Out of the fountain, and
Sloshing towards me.
sloshing towards you, and because it's moving 40 feet, it can actually get to you by dashing.
Yep.
You are now that it's close to you, you can see that you've done some severe damage to this thing,
Yes.
which makes it very unpleasant to look at.
Yes, but I'm now melee with it.
Yes, you are. All right,
Advantage.
round 3. Top of the round is me. We're going to try and give this thing disadvantage that's on top of you.
Be very helpful.
Well, they rolled an 18. Plus 3 is 21. That is like, this is not working today, is it? I am going to move a bit closer towards you. Maybe these things seem to just... Well, they may just go after the nearest target, but I do move up closer towards you. Alright, Dorn's turn.
Alright.
Seeing that he's failed with Sacred Flame twice, he's going to bring his mace down on this thing in front of him.
Okay, so this is the uninjured one, right?
This is the yes.
Right.
Okay. It's better. Not as good as it's been. 17 to hit. That's quite good. So D6 plus... Alright, he does 4 points of damage. That was a 1.
Well,
But he hits it.
better than nothing.
Yep. And now it's your turn. He's in melee with you.
I got this smelly zombie right in front of me.
Yep.
How far is it between this smelly zombie and the one that Dorn's fighting, and is Dorn in the way?
No, he's basically opposite it, but it's on the other side of the fountain, so it's probably no side of the room. It's probably about 40 feet distance between the even more than that. 50 feet distance between the two of them.
Not inside the cone of
No, we're not inside Burning Hands.
Well,
You have disadvantage to hit this thing with a firebolt at this point.
I know.
You're still gonna hit it with that?
Yep. Lowest number will be a 10.
That still hits.
Whoa!
They do not have a high armor class.
Oh, come on, I need my fourth number 9. Ah! A 5.
Alright. 1 second, I have to... Alright, so you hit it with a firebolt. Basically right where its heart is, for all intents and purposes.
Yep.
And the flames hit it, they catch, it starts to head backwards, and 1 second.
Yes.
It
Undead fortitude.
comes right back up towards you. With renewed undead vigor, yes.
Still kicking!
At 1 hit point.
Yep.
Yeah, you've. This is the first time you've seen something do that. That you're like, okay, that was death throes, but it came back.
Yeah. Alright. Well, it is...
Its turn!
Alright.
And yeah, it is going to bring its... It's going to lunge at you with its arms. It's going to try and slam you, basically.
Alright.
That is a 13 to hit.
That is my armor class.
You could try to cast shield to protect yourself.
Shield.
Shield? Alright. The last moment you bring your hand up and you... the magical shield springs into existence, protecting you from this thing as it slashes lunges with its hands at you and bites with its teeth towards you, but you hold it off with your shield spell.
Yeah.
It does not look pleasant from that, though. Just like...
No, a little bit closer than I want to be.
Alright, the other one is on Dorn.
Okay.
That's a natural 20.
Oh.
Second one natural 20 one of these things is rolled.
Yeah.
You've got to be kidding me. So it's a d6 damage plus 1. I just rolled a 6.
Dorn takes 13 points of damage.
Yes, this thing lunges at him, pulls it towards him, and takes a big bite out of him.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
He lets out a scream of pain at that.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah, no, he is bloodied from that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Alright. He is able to force it off of him, though, after it does that, fortunately, so he's still got some fight in him.
Alright. And you're up.
And it is my turn. Alright, well, suddenly realizing that Dorn is not doing so well, I'm like, looking back and forth between the two, like... I'm still focused on...
help him.
I turn my attention back to the one on you, because it looks like it's almost dead. Alright. That's a fail this time. For Frostbite.
Alright.
There's a second one I've rolled, though, for that.
It only has one.
It only has 1 hit point, but this next part, it counts. Yeah, it looks like it's going to go down, but it gets right back up. The ice crackling off of its body as the... Yeah, the damage raises the DC is the thing. So it was very low DC for that. I didn't have to even add the modifier. It's Constitution modifier for that. So that is the downside for zombies.
Yeah.
All right. It's now Dorn's turn again.
Yes.
He is going to take a swing with his mace. He's not happy now.
Yeah.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh, revenge.
Revenge. Alright, now, Dorn is a half-orc, which means he has a savage attack. When he rolls a critical hit with a melee weapon, he gets to roll an additional damage die and add that damage to the damage from the critical hit. So...
Does he get the double roll?
Sorry?
He gets the double both die, though, doesn't he? Or?
No, he damages the initial damage, and he rolls an extra die and adds that to the damage.
Okay.
So, this is the second time this die has rolled a 6 on a critical hit.
Wow.
The other d6 was a 4. So that's 16. And plus his strength modifier of 3 is a 19 points of damage. He brings the mace down on the zombie's head.
Yeah.
Crushes it to pulp, and just the mace keeps going through until it buries about in its torso. And you see it go down.
Really?
Undead Fortitude does not trigger on critical hits.
Oh. Excellent.
So he seems to have managed to kill it. You see a lot of frustration and rage in his face as he kills it.
Here you go, Dorn.
And now it is your turn.
Alright.
So the one in front of you is still up, and it has come back to animation twice.
Third time the term. Oh, what a waste of a natural 20. The other number is a 12, so that's a 18 to hit.
Especially since the natural 20 would have killed it instantly.
Yeah.
Roll damage.
3 points of damage.
Natural 1. It goes down.
Hey! Wow.
Alright.
So, Dorn.
After that, as the adrenaline leaves our system and the fight dies down, absolute quiet comes over the hall. Yes.
Okay.
Dorn is injured, and he is going to hold his... You see him just let the mace drop from his hand for a moment, and he takes one hand, holds his holy symbol, and brings his other to the bite wound, and he is going to cast Cure Wounds on himself.
There you go.
Alright. 1d8 plus 2. 4 points of healing.
How much?
4. Not a lot, but...
Well, he's down 9. Hopefully he'll be not bloodied anymore.
Yes.
Okay.
He seems fine to continue, he thinks, so he's not going to use another spell to try and heal himself up further yet.
I say to him, I'm still serious if you want to just, wait outside in the sunshine.
No, he seems more determined now to continue, now that this is going more in our favor, he thinks.
Alright.
Alright.
Check the doors to the kitchen.
Alright, so that's the one. Alright, so we go over there.
Yep.
They are actually closed, so we do open them.
Yep.
Alright, so these two rooms are also connected by an adjoining door, which allows easy access between them and allow travel between them. The kitchen has been thoroughly ransacked, and there are more bodies in here.
Okay. So, what's, according to his count,
Yep.
how many possible survivors are left now?
Well, there were 6 outside. There's an acolyte in... And yeah, there's an acolyte in the fountain, which brings it up to 7. There's him, which brings it up to 8, and there's a grand total of 12 people in this monastery.
Yep.
And the 2 bodies that are in here are both acolytes, so the count is up to 10. So at most 2 survivors at this point.
And one of them is probably the abbess, who is downstairs, we think.
None of these people have been dragonborn, so no. So as far as we know.
Yeah. So, at most, there may be
2 more.
one other survivor.
2 more.
Oh, she's probably downstairs.
So yes. Dorn and the abbess and 1 other acolyte at best.
Okay. So these 2 zombies came out of the cloister, you said?
Yes. So that's on the east wall, the opposite rooms.
So we'll go check that.
Okay. Well, so the pantry is relatively undisturbed and well stocked, by the way. As you glance in there.
We'll think about that later. Actually, is there a pot that's,
in the kitchen, you mean?
What?
In the kitchen, you mean?
Yeah.
It's on the floor, probably, at this point, but yeah.
As long as there's no, zombie goo in it, pick the pot up.
It is indeed full of blood.
Is there a clean pot in this kitchen?
Probably not. Not with the 3 on that roll.
I'm going to take my pheasant,
Yes.
and I'm going to hang it up where the herbs dry.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it there for the moment. Don't really want to get it covered in what.
That's true, you've been carrying that around this entire time.
Okay. Cloister.
Alright. So, this room is in fact an enclosed garden with an open ceiling, so there's... which according to Dorn, fulfilled a multitude of purposes, from gardening, meditation, a place to eat, and a place to work, basically work on transcribing older manuscripts, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So the 2 zombies came from in here.
Sorry, what kind of plants are they growing in here? So like vegetable gardens, or are these like herbs and that sort of stuff?
Both. You do recognize some of these herbs would have medicinal purposes, and some of these are just vegetables, and some of them have been thoroughly trampled.
I'm going to take a second just to see if I can identify any of these as stuff I can use for healing potions.
Okay.
12.
12. Alright. You see the area where the herbs which are usually used for healing potions is. It has been trampled quite thoroughly, but you see there are 3 of them which you could salvage if you want to do so.
I'm here right now, I'll do that.
Okay. So you pull out those herbs. Dorn does not seem to care at the moment. He's mostly looking around. We do notice that there are no other zombies in here. Or any other bodies at all. So,
Okay.
which is a first. But this room, you notice, is quite large and open, so there's lots of foot traffic through here, but you think no combat has occurred because they probably were able to avoid one another.
Alright, I think this is trying to find and possibly follow the abyss. Time to go down.
Alright.
Sorry, we got the dormitories upstairs still.
Yes, there's a pair of staircases which are actually part of the monastery going up, and there was the staircase past the hole in the wall going down. So we've checked out this floor thoroughly, you think, though.
Alright, let's check out the dormitory. There may be people up there, so...
Okay.
It's a little possibility for a survivor.
Okay. So there's two sets of staircases that both go up.
No, it doesn't matter.
So basically, both come to the same landing. So the dormitory is, for all intents and purposes, a long corridor with many adjoining rooms, none of which have doors.
Alright.
And this floor is quiet.
Quickly down and back, glancing back and forth between all the rooms. Is there anybody in here?
Alright, perception check, please, with advantage.
Ah, that's a low number. 9.
9. Okay. You do find one body. It is dead.
So,
You think that a monk, the last unaccounted survivor apart from the abbess.
alright. Down we go.
There's not much here. This floor, to quote the saying, is as quiet as the grave.
Right.
Literally.
Well, it doesn't seem right to pillage, so I will head down to the abbot's office, or sorry, abbess's office, and continue on.
Which there's not smoke coming out of. We left the fire unattended. We forgot about it.
Well...
It turns out your firebolt is quite flammable. What?
How bad is it in here?
Well, there's smoke pouring out, and a lot of the paper in there is burning. I can put that out if you want.
Our other option is to scoop up bloody water, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. I will. I stride forward towards the room, open the doors, and bring my hands up, and I speak an incantation on Aquan, and I cast Create Water, and rain fills the room, dousing the, at this point, quite raging fire in this room, and soaking everything else of note. And then we wait a few moments for all the smoke to clear out, but apart from that...
Yep. While we're waiting,
Yep.
I want to do a quick search of the room.
Alright.
I'm not going to tell anybody what I'm doing, but I am looking for valuables.
Okay. Alright, if you're not telling anyone what you're doing, you're making this roll on your own.
Well, apparently my conscience got the better of me. I rolled a 1. I don't find anything.
Yep. There's nothing in here but a bunch of ruined paper.
Yep.
And lots of blood and footprints.
Alright.
Oh, you noticed one other thing.
For the one I noticed something? Cool.
Sorry?
For the one I noticed something?
Oh. Maybe it's one of us who notices it. But anyway, one of us points it out to you, basically. There is a case on the wall, or on a shelf,
Yep.
that has been opened in a great hurry. And Dorn says, She must have taken it down with her, he says.
Taking what?
He says, "Oh, there was an old morning star." He says, "In this case, he says it was just a relic that was donated to the temple."
Okay.
What is your wisdom modifier is +1? You do not have insight.
No.
So your passive insight is 11.
Yes.
Mine's 15. We both notice, just from that roll, that there is something a little off about what he just said.
He's not telling the truth, you mean?
He was not being completely honest with us when he said that.
I say to Dorn, we are about to go down and possibly fight a lot of undead together. It is best to be truthful with us.
Yeah, he does not have deception as a skill. So yeah. He rolled exactly an 11. So we both see through that lie. He's a little taken aback by the fact that he saw through that so easily, though.
No.
Are you going to push him for anything further?
I say, yeah, don't you think you should come clean, seeing how we are actually going to be fighting possibly a horde of undead together?
And says, make a persuasion check with advantage, because...
That was going to go well. 12.
That's enough. Yeah, I donated it to the monastery when I first came here.
Oh.
It was mine.
Okay.
It says, from a life I left behind, he says.
Always the peaceful monk?
He says, no, I felt I needed a change in life. He says, he holds up his mace, says, I still have a good deal more fighting ability than some of the other monks, though, as I'm sure you've noticed.
Well, they're all dead near not, so yes, I do agree.
The abbess was the only one who knew what was inside that case, though, so I assume she must have, in her judgment, taken it with her down into the below.
Well, if we're going to save anybody in here, I think we better get going.
Alright, so we head to the hole, and we look down into musty-filled air and the stench of decay down below.
Is it dark down there?
It is, there is no ambient light down there now, so there's no sunlight, so yes.
Alright. Then I will cast my light cantrip on the little knob on the end of my staff.
I will do the same, causing that bioluminescent algae and moss to form the crown of my staff. And Dorn, 1 second. Do you have... Hang on, I lost his stat block. He's going to be relying on our light sources. It has dark vision. But and we head down into the basement below. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Alright.